All right, I'm Mikey Nichols,
And I'm Adam Weckel.
and this is the Prodigy post-race show. And gonna wrap up the season here with the Ironman GNCC. It was a very, very good one. There was so many people there. Like, I think before we even talk about the race, we have to just talk about how many people were at the Ironman.
Yeah, I had heard talk of record-setting numbers based off of some drone pictures via Facebook and Instagram. I would agree with that. I think it was one of the biggest turnouts to date.
I heard 511 started the AM race.
Yeah, and that's insane.
That's so many quads on the track.
That's
But the most important quad on the track was underneath Cody Collier, bringing home another win in the 4x4 pro class.
Yep, he went out and just he did what he normally does. He ripped.
Yeah, he did his thing and did it well. He won the overall again this weekend. I hate to see Brandon Frazier look like he was having a strong run. Might have been able to put a little challenge on Cody, but he looked like he had a mechanical issue out there. He didn't finish the race, so that sucks for him. But Hayden Mickelson ended up second. Close battle with Robbie Pecker-Royer for third, but Cody was on rails.
Yeah, Cody was based off results here. He's just a little less than 2 minutes ahead of Hayden Mickelson at the end of the race. Cody was just on rails all day. Something's working right underneath him for sure, like you said. So
yeah, he's on that 850 Can-Am now, and he's liking it a lot, obviously. And I'm ready to see him next year after a full season in the class. I think he's going to be ready next year.
Yeah.
I hope to see Landon back to defend his title.
I guess I'm kind of unaware of the situation. Was he on a 1000 before?
He's been riding the 850 for most of the season.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard people having good luck with the 850s. I think when you're talking that much power underneath you, I feel like maybe an 850 is more manageable in terms of power and.
When you're in the woods, I mean, can you really use 1,000 cc's 4-wheel spinning? Like,
yeah, that's quite a bit different than any other thing out there.
But I mean, as fast as he was going, maybe the little extra cc's would have helped him.
Yeah,
but who knows? He
knows?
He's vibing a lot with this 850, so I hope to see him on one next year and shredding.
Yeah, definitely. And to just kind of talk about track conditions a little bit for the AM. With like you said, 511 entries. That's pretty crazy. And for those of you that watch the show but don't race, as a racer, that the track's going to get much more torn when there's 500 plus guys out there compared to possibly 300.
Yeah, I mean that's like
So,
300 is honestly a big race, and 500 dudes out there is insane. Dudes, I mean, yeah, I can't even say that. There was the WXP class out there, had one of the best races on the track.
Yeah.
That was a nail biter, honestly. Hannah Hunter came in the underdog a little bit. I mean, obviously she's last year's champion, but she was down 6 points on Kate, and Hannah made it happen. She did the thing. I heard that Kate Osborne had some issues, motor issues, what we're hearing, but she obviously didn't finish the last lap, and that was a tough break for her. But Hannah Hunter was right where she needed to be, and I mean, she was pushing Kate all day, won the race, won the championship with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely unfortunate for Kate to end the season like that, but mad props to her for battling with Hannah basically all day. So I was told. I actually raced the AM sessions. I only saw them for about probably maybe 5 to 10 seconds battling with one another. So, definitely unfortunate for her, but, congrats to Hannah Hunter on the championship.
Kate was tough this year, and I think she knows she can do it now. Definitely.
Yep, definitely.
That breakdown might light a fire under for next year. I think
she's definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes, and I think WXC next year is going to be just as hot as it was this past year, maybe even more. So
yeah, certainly. I think WXC is going to have some of the best races on track again next year.
Yep. And there's there's some other riders aside from just those two that, show potential to run up front in the class. So, I mean, if we can go from a, two rider battle points wise for the championship to, 5 to 6 riders, being up there, that's going to be exciting for 2022. So
Certainly is. It's gonna be a good season to watch next year.
yeah, definitely. So we touched on Hannah's plastic falling off. Was that,
Yeah, I did. I see GNCC posted, and I saw at the finish, Hannah was missing a good bit of that Honda. It was deformed into the finish, but I mean, I can't help but wonder if that happened. There was maybe a little on track incident with Kate. I mean, battling for that championship, last round to
yeah, it's gonna get wild
out there.
Yeah.
And,
So,
maybe
yeah, we don't have any confirmation on what could have happened, but I mean, yeah, like you said, round 13, 6 points in between them. They know winner takes all. I mean, it's gonna get rowdy out there. So
yeah, and I mean, can't help but think Hannah might have done what she had to do out there, and maybe there was an incident, maybe that helped Kate not make it to the finish line. Who knows? But
yeah,
we gotta speak. We can't talk about Rex this weekend without talking about Adam Mcgill.
yeah, that seems to be a pretty hot subject on
Obviously, everybody already knows Adam Mcgill supposedly got T-boned this weekend, and whoever wrecked him didn't stop and make sure he was all right when he was underneath his bike between a tree, I guess. So he's pretty upset about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a hot subject right now. Following this final round this weekend, we don't really have any insight. If we did, we'd love to share it with you. But
if I knew, I would be telling everybody. But
yeah, I mean, we don't know.
We do know it was not Austin Abney.
It was not Austin Abney. He put
Austin Abney has publicly announced verbally he is not that guy.
Yep, he is not the suspect, I guess, in terms of who did the T-boning. So yeah, I mean,
we haven't heard anything from the eventual race winner, Cole Richardson, on the McGill drama. But I mean, it looks like it was possibly a guy on a Yamaha, is what the general consensus is. And
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, Brandon Owens had a smashed front bumper. So
yeah, I mean, that definitely makes you raise some eyebrows for sure. But like we said, we can't confirm. We're not sure. But yeah, I guess that'll be revealed eventually as the week goes on. Hopefully there's no bad blood after the situation for whoever could have got tangled up with him, but it's gonna happen.
And I think especially at this, like, the way the XC1 class is these days, everybody is trying so hard to win because it's really anybody's game anymore. Like, Walker Fowler is obviously he's 7-time champion. He's the man to beat, but he's beatable now. He used to always just have a step ahead of everybody, a leg up, and now he's seems like he might have got that leg swept out from underneath him. And,
yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, we've touched on it, in past episodes. There's all these riders that, can run up front. And I mean, just back to the Mcgill situation. I mean, he's been around for so long. He's still relevant in the XC1 class as far as contending for race wins and podiums. Yeah, I mean, it could be anybody. And, if he was crashed out, definitely unfortunate. But I mean, those guys all know there's a major risk involved in terms of going out, and when you're pushing that pace, there's
bound to happen eventually.
There's a risk of contact coming. So
it is, yeah. There's always a risk out there, and like I said, I mean, all these dudes are pushing to win. There's nobody out there that doesn't think they got a shot now. Yeah,
to build off the Mcgill incident. There was another tangle up in the second turn of the XC1 Pro start. So, I mean, it shows that, those guys are, definitely, battling and they're
But to even touch off that second corner, even before that, the first turn off the start, John Jr., second off the start. Kid ran up front. He almost did the thing. I mean, he led 2 laps of the race. And, I mean, it does not get any bigger than Ironman Hill.
Right.
There's more people. It's the biggest hill. It's the biggest spectator area in GNCC racing. John said, I'm passing Walker Fowler. Everybody's going to see it.
And he did. And I was there. I witnessed it. Pretty rad stuff. Yeah, I mean, like you said, that spot to pass somebody out of the whole track. I mean,
that is a statement right there.
Yeah, if you want to,
did he make the pass? He stuck the pass and led the race.
Yeah, and he basically showed people what I think he wanted to do all year, and that's basically show people that, hey, I'm a top 3 contender, and he's been around that top 5 area for a lot of this past season. So for a guy like him to run up front, and and he was running with Walker for literally over half the race, and those two were checked out.
Yeah, they were on the move. I mean, Cole Richardson and Devin Feehan were running that front pack with them, but John had the lead, and to have the lead for more than one, to not just pass for the lead, but to maintain that lead for more than one lap that's impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely a statement for him, and
I'm super unfortunate he had he broke a ball joint and it took him out of the race. That's definitely a day ender, but it's super unfortunate. At the pace they were running, and especially with the issues that Walker Fowler ended up having, you got to say John Gallardo was on the podium.
Yeah, he was definitely in position to possibly put her on the center of the box, if not, at least a second or third for the day. So major props to him. And if this is a preview into 2022, then
I really think that everybody's gonna need to keep their eyes peeled for the number 712 next
definitely
year.
Yeah, I mean,
ready.
He's jumping into the XC1 class around the same time as Hunter and Devin did. They're all similar in age. I mean, this is 2022, may be a new wave of younger riders, and that leads into our next subject of discussion. Walker Fowler, is he going to be ready for 2022? You got Bryson Neal coming off an injury. You got these young kids going, they can run up front.
To speak on that even more, there's a possibility Walker Fowler might be coming into an injury. He had a tangle up this weekend. Obviously, he had a crash, no visor, and him and John tangled a little bit, and did not end up good for Walker. Obviously, I mean, to say he had a bad race is it's true for Walker Fowler standards. Walker finished 9th overall. He was top 10 overall still on pretty much his worst day since entering the XC1 class. And but there was some talk after the race of possibly an ACL injury for Walker Fowler.
Yeah, and we can't confirm that, but I mean, it definitely brings up some speculation of if he has an injury, it's not going to be too long before we're going to start talking about the opening round for 2022. I mean, if GNCC sticks to what they've done in years past, I mean, we're going to be racing the last weekend in February. And
I mean, it used to be the first weekend in March. It might not even be the last weekend in February. Time is already ticking away for next season. And I hate to say it like this, but Walker Fowler's got no time to lose. These guys are coming. He's got to be on. He's got to be better than his A game now. If he wants to win, he's got to bring everything he's got.
Exactly, because I mean, these last 4 rounds after following the break and obviously the snowshoe, it's shaping up to be a busy year for Walker Fowler. Guys like Devin and Hart
and
like
Bryson Neal is going to be back. Yeah. We've had all these battles after snowshoe without Bryson Neal.
Right.
Bryson Neal is no doubt fast enough to win races, and we've had 5-6 guys fast enough to win races, and without a guy who's fast enough to win there. I mean, And Bryson is still undoubtedly fit. He's still looking very good. And I think he'll be back on the bike soon. And he's going to be a beast next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the determination and drive to run out front. And, I can guarantee you he's watching, he's watching all these guys and all these races, every round, these past 4 rounds. So he's, analyzing a little bit and, seeing who's gonna be battling with next year. So,
But I mean, we can't talk about people looking good without saying Cole Richardson.
yeah,
Dude won the race. I mean, he struggled a little bit this year, but he's finally found his groove. It looked like he finally is working and working for him. So it's good to see Cole get a win this year.
yeah,
And maybe that's just a shadow of what's coming next year. I mean, I think I really thought at the end of last year that Cole Richardson was going to have something to say about these race wins this year, and looked like he just really struggled at the beginning of this year. So I think he's got his stuff together now. If he can maintain that program till next season, he'll be one to watch, certainly.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, he seems to be pretty consistent in terms of finishing out the last 4 rounds strong. We talked about that in talking about previous rounds. For him to come out and win the Ironman it backs up the theory of him, like I said, finishing out the last 4 rounds on a good note. I did see,
Doesn't get much better than that.
and you may be able to confirm, Mikey, was that his first Ironman XC1 win?
That was the first overall Ironman for Cole Richardson.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, congrats to him, and it's that track looked beat. So for anybody to come out on top, that's a major deal. So
Oh yeah, and I mean, but he didn't win the race easy. I mean, Devin Feehan pushed him,
and we have
everything he wanted and then some, I'm sure.
Yep. So we have a little insight from one of our buddies that raced the PM race. He had told us that it sounded like Devin had hit a tree while leading the race at the last lap.
Just before the finish, yeah.
Yep.
We heard that Devin tagged a tree just like moments from the finish.
Yep. So definitely, that takes the wind out of your sails, definitely. But
I mean, he was this close to his first win, and I don't think he's satisfied with that. I think he's coming out next year looking for win number 1, and I think he's going to be looking for more than just win number 1. I think he's looking for several.
Right, but yeah, I mean, you can't knock the second place overall for Devin at the at the Ironman.
Not only a second at the Ironman, but I mean, he has been on fire. He has been great at all 4 of these last rounds, 3 podiums, and he's on it. I think he's the man on mission right now, and we're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna post a little bit of power rankings soon here, and Devin Feehan's looking good for the top of the list.
Yeah. Don't be surprised to see him definitely at the top of the list. In that area for sure. I mean, it does look to be that he got 6th at round 12. But for those of you that looked at the results closely, he's right there. He was right there with the.
He was battling. I mean, he was this far away from 3rd place, second, 3rd place. There was I mean, if 6th place is your bad finish, that's all right.
Right, definitely. So yeah, I mean, for him to pull off 3 podiums in the past 4 rounds, that's crazy.
That's a statement, certainly.
And if we're talking, consistency, I think he's at the top of the list in terms of being most consistent.
Especially at these last 4. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the 6th place, like we just said, I mean, he was close to everybody else. Walker, last 4 rounds, he's got a 5, 1, 1, and then a 9. The 9, he wasn't with third to 9 spot. They weren't in a train. Like he had of his own.
Definitely had a rough race.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, that podium, it's good to see Cole getting the win. Jared McClure is still ripping. He's 3rd overall on the day. So congrats to him. And then
the snake, man, he's just always in contention for a podium. You can never count that dude out. And I look forward to seeing Jared racing for a few more years to come.
Yep.
He said he's not done till he's out of the top 10. So I think we've got quite a few years left.
I think we have quite a few years left, Jared McClure. So that's great to see. I mean, he's going to be running that number 3 plate next year. I can't think of a time that he was out. I mean, for what I can remember, he's been running the 2 to 4 spot the past few years in terms of points. So
yeah,
that's definitely a major accomplishment for him. And 2022 he can bring it, and hopefully he's still on a Honda. He can still hold it down for the Honda boys. So
yeah. I mean, we haven't heard anything about any changes for Jared McClure next year, but you never know. And speaking of changes, we spent all this time talking about this race, and we have not mentioned Chris Borsch rode a Yamaha.
Yeah, that might be the biggest thing in the weekend. I know it's like the biggest thing for me.
We
coming.
Crazy that so much happened at the Ironman that it took us this long to get to Chris Borsch back to a Yamaha.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he did a pretty good job of keeping that on the down low.
Yeah, it was he just pulled up with it basically. Nobody really expected that from what I knew.
Yeah, and it looked to be he was on his Fox float setup. Looked to be running Hauser A arms. That seems to be a pretty go-to setup for a lot of those guys. Yeah, I mean,
looked good. He looked comfortable on the bike. He battled Jared all day long, and he was solid. I mean, I was certainly shocked to see Chris on YFZ, and I didn't think he would do as well as he did. Honestly, I didn't think the switch up would treat him as well, but it was working for him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, there wasn't any prediction that he was going to show up on a YFZ. I think that was just kind of, here it is. And I mean, it seemed to work out for him. So those that have been following this class for quite a few years now, they know that coming off his last championship, he showed up the next year on a YFZ, and it just didn't seem to work out for him. So maybe he's trying something else now. Maybe they got something worked out since then. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked to be working well for him. So it's hard to say with Chris. You never know what he's gonna do. But I'd have to assume we're gonna see him on a blue bike next year, and hopefully he'll treat him well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, like we said, he battled with Jared all day, and I mean he finished around the he finished 4th on the day, right with some other heavy hitters in the XC1 class. So definitely shows that he didn't really have much of a learning curve showing up on the YFZ.
No, he was ready. He was honestly, he must have had that thing dialed in pretty well, because he rode it very well. And to round out our top 5, we cannot forget about Josh Merritt.
JM6.
JM6, man. He did it. He's number 6 for next year. That's a pretty big, impressive number. I mean, number 6 is pretty high up there.
Yeah, that's pretty high up. And yeah, just from watching as a spectator this past weekend,
Josh was ripping.
He was ripping. He was right with McClure and Borsch there. I mean, he's honestly making a statement for next season. So it's
that Josh rode very, very well at the last race. Yep. And if he rides like that next year, I think he's going to be in contention for even more top 5s.
Right. And yeah, I'm just looking back at the results here. I mean, he mostly finished that 7 to 10 spot all year. Mostly it looks to be the 8-9 spot seemed to be where he ended up on most weekends. But yeah, to end the season with a 5th, that's definitely a confidence booster for him, and hopefully he can take that into 2022. So
yeah, it'd be nice to see even more guys battling in that top 5 battle. And obviously the guys that were in that top 5 battle are showing that they're ready for that number 1 battle now. It's a short distance from that top 5 to the center of the podium.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, I mean, I think Josh definitely has the raw speed to get the job done. So hopefully he's running up around that top 5 range next season. So I personally, I'm a big J Mare fan. He seems to, I like his riding style. I like what he does for social media. So I mean, he's definitely got a lot on his side to have a successful 2022 season. So
Certainly does. And
definitely.
another guy that we are certainly going to be looking at for the 2022 season is Hunter Hart. He had a disappointing day at Ironman. And
Yep.
heard he had a little bit of shock failures, possibly a leaking shock that they had to make some adjustments on in the pits, but ultimately cost him a lot of time throughout the day. I mean, 11th overall, decent finish, but Hunter was certainly expecting more, and I think everybody was expecting to see a little more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked in the previous show about coming into Ironman. He's
won there before.
He's won there before. He was coming off a podium at the Hoosier this year. Yeah, I mean, we were looking to see him, definitely battle up front for the race win. Definitely unfortunate if he had a mechanical issue running at that XC1, running in the XC1 class, having a suspension issue or just anything like that is gonna
any sort of issue in that XC1 class at that pace, you're basically done for the day. I mean,
right.
You have to be better than perfect if you want to win.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, he finished out 11th overall for the day. Definitely, still a reputable, finish from him. Just despite the mechanical issue. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, Hunter's he's gonna be up there in the power rankings as well.
Number 2, HH2.
HH2. I was actually talking with him Friday before the race, and we were just joking around, about a possibly number 2 spot for next year, and we both agreed that has a nice ring to it. So
that number 2 is a big accomplishment.
It's a big deal, and just to be just one position behind 7-time champ Walker Fowler, that's a big deal. And last thing I can remember is before Fowler got his championship, he was number 2. So
he certainly was.
I mean, you gotta look and see.
Borsch was number 2 before he won his championship.
Exactly. So,
on his way.
We are certainly hoping history repeats itself for Mr. HH. So HH2, I must say. I don't think that's gonna get old. That's not gonna get old in 2022. So, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely pulling for him next year. He's got, the people behind him, and it's gonna be exciting.
I mean, obviously, at the Ironman GNCC in Indiana, we can't forget the local boy, the king of Indiana, Austin Abney. Austin had a really good ride as well. He battled Adam Gill all day. Just he couldn't quite make it happen on Adam at the end of the day. Ended up 7th, but still a good ride.
Yeah, I mean, 7th overall is definitely a solid run for him, and
on his new bike. I mean, I think that's his best finish on the Yamaha so far, and he looked good.
Definitely on the Yamaha, he had an 8th place position at round 11 to finish out with 7th. That's solid for him, and to do it in his home state and give a show for the fans is it's always good to see.
Indiana guys are built different, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. Some of them dudes from Indiana are just nuts. Like Austin Abney, man, he rips. But Kevin Cunningham, obviously former 4x4 pro champion.
Yeah, dude, we definitely got to touch on the old Kevin real quick. So he was coming off I believe it was I think it was IXCR the weekend before. I think that sounds familiar. He put it on the podium there behind Austin Abney on a sport quad. I think the guy just wants to show everybody that he's quick on both the 4x4 and the 450.
Dude just needs a motor and 4 wheels and he'll go fast.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure he's got an active lifestyle. He may be working out, but he's a full-on family working man. So
yeah, he is. And I mean, he finished 4th in XC2, 15th overall.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. So
for a part-time racer, that's hammering. He was definitely ripping out there, and you love to see guys like that come out and do it.
Definitely.
He's one of the good guys of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, not even a full-time racer as far as running the nationals go, and to come out and put in a top 15 overall is is
He's still a beast, certainly.
yeah. So
I would love to see that dude come back and race the 4x4 pro class. I think he might still have a few tricks up his sleeve for Cody.
I totally agree. So yep, Kevin, if you're tuning in, ATV Prodigy approves. So we are
We need to see another run in the 4x4 pro class.
we would like to see you run up front with the 4x4 pro boys in the future. So yeah, I mean, to build off of Cunningham's finish, we had Wyatt Wilkin finishing 8th on the day in the XC2 Pro-Am class. That's 8th overall. That's a pretty high position for an XC2 rider. So
yeah, that's a very, very solid ride. Wyatt won both the Indiana races. I mean, maybe he's gonna have to move out to Indiana and become one of those Indiana boys. But
right.
he was ripping, certainly. Wyatt he had a very good ride. He beat Walker Fowler.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Walker had a tough day and issues, but I don't care, man. If you beat Walker Fowler,
definitely.
you're ripping. And,
definitely. So
Wyatt had a very good day, and I think I have not heard anything about him moving out of that XC2 class. So I would be very nervous if I'm running that XC2 class next year about Wyatt Wilkin.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, I mean, this year, Ronnie got the championship, and Wyatt, off the top of my head, I think was he second in points overall or third?
I'm not sure with Brandon also moving for the last.
Okay, I forgot about Brandon as well. Yeah, I mean, if he's in for XC2 next year, that's he's going to be probably the guy to beat, depending on.
Ronnie Rush is definitely moving up, champion, and I'd have to assume Brandon Owens moved up, so I'd have to assume he's going to stay in that XC1 class.
Right.
I think that when Brandon Owens is on, I think he's definitely got the stuff for XC1. And
definitely.
I know that Ben's out. He's done. He's having a kid here soon, so I think he's not racing next year from everything I've heard. So that's definitely you hate to see that, but that's definitely gonna suck there.
Yeah, and he finished second in points for the season in XC2. I was wrong. Wyatt actually ended up 5th in points for the year in XC2 class. Looks like he just had a little bit of rough luck in terms of maybe just possibly
mechanicals mostly.
Yeah, just mechanical issues. He was able to snack 4 wins throughout the season. So
that's impressive.
That's impressive. And if he's sticking with XC2 next year, he's going to be one of those guys to contend for the championship, no doubt. So another guy to mention is Jay Shadron. This weekend, he ended up 10th overall, 2nd in XC2. Does that mean he's racing XC2 next year? I guess we'll have to find.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to see Jay move up and race the XC2 class and get 2nd. I mean, that's a very good ride, 10th overall. So I'd like to see him roll with that XC2 class next year. I think that he's got a good pace. And I think Jay would be a very good guy to keep those guys on their toes. Make sure that any of those new kids on the block, if they think they're going to have easy wins, they're thinking wrong with Jay Shadron.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I saw him. He had his headlights on. I know he runs the headlights on the old.
Headlights on for safety.
I definitely knew when he was coming through, and he looked good all day. So, yeah. I mean, if he's in for XC2 next year, he's familiar with that pace, from years past. Definitely can't count him out. And then we got basically to finish off the XC2 podium, Tanner Walker finishing 13th overall. That's a
solid finish for him. He was good all season. I think, Tanner Walker's definitely going to be another one of those guys that's in for that XC2 championship hunt next year. He was very solid this year. He didn't win any races, but he was there every race. He was on the podium almost every race, and I think that might pay off for him in the long run of next season.
Right. So I think that basically wraps up, the gist of the XC1 and XC2 class as far as results go from the Ironman this past weekend. We want to do some honorable mentions here. Stephen Harrell throwing down a 15th overall, winning the College A class.
I do believe he did win the College A championship, so I do believe he'll be moving up to that XC2 class next year, and he will definitely also be a championship threat with 15th overall. He's had some other very solid overall finishes. Kid's fast.
And yeah, I mean, for him to end up 15th overall from the college A row, I believe that was the
Third row.
third row this past weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he ended up third. He was starting from the third row. If he runs XC2, I mean,
It's just that much less traffic to get through.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's definitely looking to be pretty potent next year if he does move up to the XC2 Prime class. So yeah, congrats to him on the championship.
Yeah. Had Lane McCormick also your second amateur. He was 21st overall. Oh no, he was 20th overall. And we had L Dub, Landon Wolf on the big girl, the 4x4, 21st overall. If you're not impressed with that, I really like to see that. Landon looked good in the afternoon.
He did, and Mikey and I were talking before we started recording the show. Yeah, I mean, he's probably not used to that afternoon terrain in terms of so to bring out the Renegade and show everybody what's up, that's a big deal. So
yeah, certainly he ended up with the win in that junior A class and 21st overall. He was on the move, certainly.
yeah, so I mean, he entered junior A class, he won that, and I mean, it shows that those 4x4 guys are fast. I mean,
certainly. They make those big bikes move.
Yep, for sure. So just looking at the results here, we have Lee Smith out of Indiana finished 18th overall. That's pretty rad for him. He's an Indiana boy. So
dude, there's so many fast dudes in Indiana.
Yep.
Anybody in the top 20 overall is rad, no matter what.
Right. So yeah, I mean, congrats to him. I can't recall if he raced any other GNCCs this year. It may have raced the Hoosier, but yeah, I mean, he's just basically showing everybody that Indiana is a very, very talented state in terms of ATV racing. So definitely cool to see guys like that showing up and putting out results. So yeah, and even Dalton Keys finishing 24th overall, another Indiana guy running an A class. So that's crazy, and that just shows that there's talent in a lot of states, but it shows that Indiana has something going right for all those boys. So congrats to them, and I think that basically wraps up results for the race. But we want to talk about the points next year.
Yeah, we got obviously no change for Walker Fowler, big number one. It might as well be a big old target on his back at this point, but he's got that number one for at least one more season.
Right.
He has it his way. It'll be many.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, he going into Ironman didn't really have anything to lose. Of course, he wanted to go into the race, add to the total wins list.
He just hates losing.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be running that number one plate next year. Number two,
Hunter Hart with the two.
Number two, HH2. That's cool. That's rad. I don't really have a lot of words for that other than it's going to be exciting. It's cool.
Jared McClure is going to be doing it for Dale next year. Number three. So could we see a Dale Earnhardt inspired quad for next year? Maybe. I hope so, man. That would make my heart happy.
Maybe. So
maybe Jared should grow out a nice mustache with it too,
I think that would be a good addition. I think that would be pretty rad. So yeah, I mean, like we touched on, he's holding it down for the Honda boys, putting, throwing a number 3 on a Honda in the year 2022, where it's basically a sea of Yamahas other than him and, basically Mcgill, in the top 10. Yeah, I mean, it's
hold it down.
Great to see. So yeah, congrats to Hunter and Jared finishing out the top 3 for the year. I know they had a decent gap in points as far as being able to get moved around. I know Hunter basically just had to go out and finish the race, and he obviously was able to get that job done. So we got Cole Richardson 4th for the year. So that's a solid number for him. So
Yeah, it certainly is.
yep. And then yeah, we got Mcgill rounding out the top five.
I'm sure he'll be on his traditional number 521 for next
Yep,
season.
I don't see the number getting changed, but good to see him, showing he's still relevant in that
We're into
class.
that top 5.
Yep. So
JM6.
yeah, this is where it gets close. This is where we're getting close.
Not only do we have JM6, we got 7 Devin.
7 Devin 7. I don't know how you want to put it. You can put it
Either way, it's great.
number 7 next year. Let's go. Love to see it.
Yeah, you do. I would like to see the number 7 on Devin's bike. I think he might drop 3-digit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a fan of the career number, but I mean, I think the number 7 looks good, on any bike. Certainly look good on Hunter's this year.
Better than 7 Devin.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a solid name. I think we might have to make that known. So yeah, I mean, him running number 7 next year. Josh Merritt finishing out in the 6th place spot. Not to mention that they were only 1 point apart from each other at the end of this race.
Man, so it's a good thing Josh had his best ride of the year.
Yeah, so
he needed to.
Yeah, I mean, those guys definitely went up in the points. I want to say they were looking around that 7 to 8 spot, but they got jumped up to 6 and 7. So to see those guys,
yeah, they lost John with his unfortunate break.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, John definitely lost some points there. So,
continue with the career number next year for sure.
Right. So yeah, I mean, Josh, he ended up with 164, Devin 163, and then Glotta finishing the season with 161. I mean, those guys are literally 3 points from one another in just 3 spots there. So that's a tight battle, and those 3 guys, I mean, they show they got the speed, and I can't wait to see next year, and Devin getting number 7. I think the last 4 rounds, and even Snowshoe, he threw down a 5th at Snowshoe. This late season push was able to project him into that number 7 spot. So
certainly. Yeah, he was I believe he was outside of top 10 before that. So
yeah, that sounds familiar. So look, congrats.
Man, this is a weird one for me. Chris Borsch, number 9.
It's been a few. I can't even say it's been a few.
Like a couple decades, man.
I think he hasn't ran like a number as high as that since I was born. So
you think Chris is just gonna roll with the 9, or you think he's got a career number picked out?
Well, I know quite a bit about GNCC history, but I've never not seen him on a number 2 or a 1 or a 3, 4. I mean, 5 this year. I don't know what. So
yeah, I mean, it's certainly been a while. I mean, it was like 2-stroke days when Chris Borsch was on.
Right, exactly. Day. So yeah, I mean, I guess that'll be I
guess an even big question is, will we even see Chris Borsch next year? He's got another baby due very soon. He's he's done his time, certainly. Who's to say he doesn't hang up the boots after the season?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, something to think about for him. I mean, he's obviously had an incredible career as far as race wins and championships, and
most races still.
Yeah, so I guess time will tell, but I know I'd like to see him back next year. I mean,
it's such a mystery.
Yeah, so I mean, he ended the last round with the 4th place spot. I mean, if you can still throw down in 4th place for the day, I'd stay running it, but obviously that's for him to decide. So
yeah, but I don't know. Chris Bissel's last finish was a podium, so
true. That is true, but
so hard to. I hope we see CB next year.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, exactly. me as well. And I guess we're gonna finish out this top 10 with Bryson Neal. 10th place overall in points. It's not number one, but for number 10 and for him to not even race rounds 8 through 13, and he had 2 DNFs at both round 2 and 4. Number 10 in points is pretty respectable. So
yeah, Bryce Neal was he was definitely getting number 10 this year. Everybody knows Bryce Neal was shooting for the top.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
I heard little birdie told me that B Neal's going to be repping the big 241 next year.
Okay, so he's coming at you with the career number. So
career number, but I mean he's I also heard that he's bringing the 241 back, but he's looking to drop the 24 off it real soon.
okay, yeah, that's definitely possibly coming up this next year. So we just can't talk enough about Bryce Neal and how strong he's hopefully going to come back and throw down with the guy.
Everybody's going to be so strong this year.
Yeah. So Abney ended up 11th for the year. Jay Shadron 12th for the year. And then you got like Wesley Wolf. He's been injured these past few rounds, basically after round 8, just wasn't there due to injury. Number 13 for the year. And then got to mention our XC2 champion, Ronnie Rush, throwing down the 14th in points overall. So pretty solid still.
7-1-4, 14th overall. I mean, that's one of those numbers where it just works. You might see him drop the 7 for the 14th.
I just noticed that might I do graphics, I design graphics. I see that being like a 14 with a ghosted 7 next to it, something like that. I think that always kind of creates some hype, and I guess we'll wait and see on that one.
I mean, this one's a little bold here, but I'm gonna call it real early, that Ronnie Rush is gonna be a single digit number by the end of 2022.
I can see that coming hot off the XC2 championship. I mean, he's definitely going to take what he learned from this year, and hopefully.
I mean, him and John Glaude have been putting in a lot of work recently together, and John's been riding well, and I think they're going to continue training together in the off season, and I think that could lead to a good partnership. Those two could surprise some people next year.
Yeah, definitely. And with John's speed that he's shown just basically all season long, he's got he's a good guy to train with. And I think guys like that, Ronnie and John, if they're training together on a weekly basis, in this off season, that's
better.
That's big. So
certainly is.
Yes, sir. So I think that basically wraps up the points for the top 20 overall for next year. So you got anything else? I think that
unfortunately, I mean, this is the last post race show until the end of February.
Yeah, I mean, this is this does sadly, this is our 4th episode, I believe. 4th or 5th? Is it 5th? 4th?
5th.
I don't know.
4th.
4th or 5th, doesn't matter. We appreciate you guys tuning in, but our we still got some things to figure out, but
we know you guys will miss us, so we'll be back much
sooner. So we want to hopefully touch base with you guys.
We're gonna be giving stuff away soon too, so you're gonna want to stay for that.
Yeah, there might be a giveaway, there might be some interviews,
there's gonna be.
Yeah. So for anyone that wants a little insight, on some of these guys' programs, we'd certainly like to provide that for you. I know there's quite a few guys in that top 20 overall that, they all have a similar, training style, but some guys, focus, just strictly riding, or possibly, putting the time in the gym. I mean, certainly a lot of guys do both, but, if we can get a few guys on the show and, basically just give us the off-season rundown, that'd be pretty tight. So I think that'll be rad. So I think this concludes episode 4 of the ATV Prodigy post race show. We appreciate tuning in, and I want to see you guys drop an HH2 in the comments. You drop one, we'll reach out and we'll throw some stickers your way. So we got some great quality ATV Prodigy decals. You can put them on basically anything. They're pretty rad. Brought to you by Spider Graphics.
Put them on anything and put them on
everything. So I know I was rocking quite a few this weekend. I know Mikey had quite a few on his quad. Just basically can never have enough of those. So yeah, drop an HH2 in the comments, and we will definitely
some coming your way. Limited edition pink ones.
Yeah, if you know the pink's gonna run out first. I know that. So
it's almost gone already.
Yeah, so it's a limited run. You better get on it. And yeah, we appreciate you tuning in. So I think that does it for the show, and we will talk to you guys later.
We'll see you again soon.